All right. For those of you that don't know, um, in 2009, I started working here. It's when this organization was created. I was the first employee hired. We're over 60 employees now. In 2012, the government implemented SAM. At that point, after we migrated all of our clients over from the old CCR, to the new SAM system, we were able to start tracking how much money our clients made through the federal government. Happy to report, I just got the report not 10 minutes ago from our CFO. And since 2012, since we started tracking how much money our clients have made with the federal government, since 2012 to as of today, our clients have made, you ready for this? $1,349,850,700,788 accumulatively, all of our clients total since 2012. I'll repeat, because when he came to me and said, if you had to guesstimate how much you think our clients have made so far, I said it's definitely in the trillions. It's obviously definitely in the billions, if not in the trillions. I think in the trillions. 1.6 trillion. 1,649,850,700,788. That's just fun to say. Anybody in a hurry? Anybody got something due today, or in a major hurry wants to start first? Let's get this going.
Hey, John, this is Billy Kent.
Yes.
I can put you a link in the chat. I had submitted a sources sought as procurement officer about a month ago, and then he emailed me directly on Friday and said, hey, bid on this.
Okay.
And if you could please just look at it, because I think he's really just asking for my quote, fill out a couple of pieces of his paper. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything.
Okay. When a federal purchasing agent reaches out to you, a federal purchasing agent or purchasing officer or procurement officer, then that particular agency reaches out to you, that is obviously a good thing. They're not going to waste their time and call you or email you and ask you to bid on something if they are not interested in hiring you, period. So that's wonderful. So this was a pre-solicitation or sources sought. Now it's an active bid. Response date is the 15th. So you only got a couple of days. It's a veteran-owned small business set aside. So what is your question?
Really, he says, basically put your quote on your letterhead. That's no problem. And really just want to make sure I didn't miss anything else. Just really a second set of eyes, really.
Sure.
I think I got it. I think he needs 3 things from me.
Hey, when they say just do this, I do exactly what they ask. No more, no less. I would go in here and do a Control F and look for the instructions, see if there has any instructions. Okay, so standard instructions to offer. He's saying put your quote on your letterhead. I would still do a cover page, signature page, and an acknowledgement of amendments, being that this was put out as a sources sought, and now it's been amended to a synopsis. And you can put your quote on your, your cap statement or something like that, but I would treat it like a standard instructions to offer. And I would reply to this guy as soon as possible, because if he's reached out to you, I'd reply to him before anybody else does.
I did. I replied to him Friday, then I asked him another question just a little bit ago. They're requiring a background investigation, obviously, and it's for employment. And they give you 3 levels of a background check they want you to run.
Right.
And one costs like $380, one costs around $1,500, and then one costs like $4,500. And it's based on level of risk. And I said, how do you come up with the level of risk? And he replied back, basically it happens in the vetting process. So I didn't want to go back to him again and say, what do you mean? Because if you start a low-risk investigation, do you think it's, okay, this candidate needs additional investigations on him? Am I making
Yeah, you are. And the question would really come down to, well, I need to include this in my quote, number one, because if this is in the vetting phase, and that means after you've hired me, after you've already awarded me, then you're going to want to do these checks, and I'm going to have to pay for it. So I'm going to have to include that in my quote.
It makes sense. Right.
All you can do in this case is either wait to hear back from him if he responds again and try and get more detailed information, or assume the worst. Like when people say, well, they're not telling us the shipping address. So I don't know if this is going, halfway across the country or all the way across the country, but they want us to include freight. I include the freight then on the farthest distance possibly traveled, and that would be my freight quote. So I would be quoting it based on the fact that it's going from Maine to Hawaii. The absolute farthest it could go from A to B, and then that would be my guesstimate as far as my freight cost. And it's going to be an over guesstimate, which means I'm going to make a little bit more profit too. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. Okay.
But all you can do in this case, if you can't get a response from him, all you can do is assume the worst, and that you would have to do all 3 levels.
Exactly.
In which case, you're going to add that into your quote, and if he only does 1 or 2 levels, then that's more money you make.
Right. Got it.
Or you could specify that each level of blah, blah, blah is going to cost this, and that if there's only level 1 required, this is the cost. If it's level 2 required, this is the cost. Level 3, this is required. So
that's a good idea. Thank you for that.
You got it.
That's perfect.
You got it. Any other questions? Anybody else got a question? Bid, solicitation, proposal, something to work on? Kenneth, do you have anything? Skyhawk, Justin, caller number 1.
No, none for me today.
Okay. Anybody else? Anything? Question, bid, solicitation, proposal? Question. Justin McCarthy, what's the topic of the 4 p.m. meeting? I am new to the process. Okay. Justin, welcome, number 1. Number 2, we don't typically have a premeditated subject that we're going to cover in the training. I use the training primarily to work with clients on bids and proposals and solicitations, to give you guys the one-on-one access to me, the knowledge to understand these systems and how to use them properly, how to submit bids properly. There really is no proper question for the training. Let me pull this up because this will make more sense. So questions in the training can be, what to include when you submit your bid, how to submit a bid properly, what exactly the government wants to buy if they're looking for a statement of work, performance work statement, what factors the government will use to choose the awardees, how do you fulfill the award properly, what's the difference between firm fixed price and cost plus, what's additional insurance, workman's comp, bonding, et cetera is required, how much should I charge, can I sub out a portion or all of this contract, what is CPIRS, CPARS, FAPIS. There really is no limit as to what you can ask in the training, but the primary focus is to work on bids, proposals, and solicitations. So if you can find something you want to bid on, bring it. Email me the link, go into FBO and copy the actual link right here, and you can either email it or you can pop that in the chat if it's something you want to work on. I can click on it. We can work on it together. And of course, if you have a subject or a question or something you want to work on in the training, we can do that as well. That's about it. So any other questions? Anybody else got a question, bid, solicitation, proposal, something to work on? No. All right, guys. I will see you at 4 o'clock then. Same bat time, same bat channel. You know the drill. Any day you want to join, if you're a new guy, you don't know if you want to join, any day you want to join, just email Gina. She'll add you to the calendar. And I'll talk to you again. Thanks, guys. Bye.